Now I know I've covered quite a lot of Saw movies on this channel, but let's just say this movie might be the most Saw-like movie I've covered to date, and it's so far from it still. It's amazing. You'll see what I mean. And first off, a shout out to 𝗲𝘂𝗲𝗃 for putting this movie on my radar. Now, as somebody who loves the Saw franchise, I don't think one particular thing can make you a Saw movie. However, I would argue having dank basements, having a narrator with a different voice coming through, having people perform certain traps, and probably having one of the main actors also in the movie would definitely put this in the Saw-like category for me. This microphone might pop in now and again, by the way. I quite like it. It's just a nice little prop to hold on to. It's also fake. It's not the real microphone. It's just a bit of plastic, really. Now, with it being another Saw-like, don't be put off at just thinking it is a cheap knockoff. It does try its own thing, which I'll give them some credit for. A very small amount of credit, mind you. You know, I mean, you could take it to your high street and no shop will give you anything in return for it. That type of credit. But credit nonetheless. Now with Hoffman in this movie, kind of getting his own movie finally, which I know, don't come at me, I'm fully aware that he then became like the new Jigsaw and took on his own sort of traps. I get that. But this is his own movie, and let me just tell you, it's not like he did this before Saw, by the way. They seen it and then thought, this is probably a good pick for us. No, he was already well established as Jigsaw's new apprentice, and he was hired here to be a pretty much Jigsaw apprentice. What can you say? The man has range. So without further ado, you guys know the score by now. Grab yourselves a drink. First off, love this. Hit subscribe if you haven't. As you can see, we are closing in on 5,500. It's fucking awesome to say that out loud. And let's just see, how close or far away does death count get from the old Saw franchise? Going with what Alex said about this really trying to be Saw, the movie opens up on what I can only describe as like a free indie game horror art book sort of vibe. It's weird, like it is a strong opening, but it feels very cheap. You've played in some of these locations, haven't you? Like you've been here before, getting like scared by the standard jump scare. We get the first proper camera shot here, and what is it? Well, it is a bathroom in a dank basement, baby. That is Saw counter number 1. I'm not going to do that for the rest of the movie, and you're going to see why. We have our gal waking up here with a nasty bump on her head and chained down, and in true cheap Saw fashion again, she's far too clean. Or dirty with a chain around her. Like, it's hard to tell, that's all I'm saying. It's hard to tell. I'm not complaining. At least she does look just a little bit dishevelled, but give her 5 minutes and she is ready for a night out. Like, they should have grubbed her up a bit more. Somebody drops in some water and a granola bar by the looks of it. Is that the trap? I fucking hate them. No, sorry granola fans, but fuck it. That's me. That's trap number 1 complete. She has seen all the monitors and it turns out that they are some pretty familiar faces to her.
Wait a second. Coach Roberts? Principal Bruno? Selena? Kim? Mr. Jose?
Her snooze alarm finally goes off though, and we get a familiar face on screen.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Warden.
Off. What is he doing here? When I was told Hoffman was in this movie, I expected Hoffman. You know, like Detective Hoffman, not Hoffman. I don't know what that is. I don't know what to do with that. This was 2022, people. Like, I just need you to understand that. Hoffman was already Hoffman. And here, he looks like the arch villain on a Nickelodeon kids show, doesn't he?
I have gathered you all here to participate in a little game called And Then There Were.
What the fuck's that? He's like a Mortal Kombat character from way back in the day.
Your survival is dependent on what you are willing to sacrifice. As with most things in life, there are rules.
Our Warden Hoffman is setting the premise for these unlucky folks, and what they need to do is they need to acquire likes, or as he calls them.
An audience will be watching you. Our society has shifted into one built on cyber likes, and it will be incumbent on each of you to acquire as many as possible.
It's 2022, people. It's 2022, we're calling them cyber likes now. You know what to do, people. Click me some cyber likes. And if you get that, well, fucking thank you very much for getting the reference. It means you've been here for a couple of videos. Thank you. Fucking cyber likes, man. Cyber likes aside, which trust me, it's hard to say that, we finally get the rules though.
The person with the least likes at the end of the selected time period will be eliminated. The goal is to survive the game. Should you fail to comply at any time, you will be immediately eliminated. They will vote as to which of you will begin the first round in our maiden voyage.
Is it just me who immediately thought that the girls here should maybe sort of probably flash some cam? Look, not for me, right? Just back that up for a second. But if they're in this for the likes and it is being streamed, it's safe to say that the girls would have an advantage over the guys, right? You with me? Does that make sense? I'm sure a little bit of skin would have them flying out in front. Like, you only have to look at Twitter bots and you see what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, though, we already come up against our first rowdy contestant.
Is this where I'm supposed to beg for my life, you fucking coward? Was it you afraid to come in here and deal with me?
He's really not understanding the severity of this situation, like, whatsoever.
Are you stating that you will not participate?
Hoffman, though, yeah, he's finally had enough. Well, let's say finally. The man's lasted like 2 fucking minutes so far.
Each of you has an explosive device implanted at the base of your skull. Should you not participate, the device will be executed and you will be instantly eliminated.
But it's like that thing where you hire somebody just to fire them. Like, that's what's happening here.
Huh? Was there something you needed to say? No, I will not participate. I will not participate.
8 is just not getting it either, though. Like, he seems to believe it's a safe room of some kind, so he's already trying to escape.
I can find a way out. I know what this is. It's like one of those, escape rooms, right?
Jesus Christ, this movie is popping off early.
2 down, 6 to go. Well, 6 already went, but you know what I mean.
Sorry, but nah, this isn't going to work, Hoffman, if you're bringing puns as well. Like, that's my thing on the channel. It's Gubtodi reviews. It's me. It's for me, it's not Hoffman reviews. Hoffman, fuck off. Leave it to me. It's already one thing I'm talking about the bloody movie. Don't put me in competition with it.
The real game will begin momentarily. Stay tuned.
Onwards to the police now, and thankfully, it doesn't look like they're completely at a loss. Like, the movie's jumped ahead a little, they know the score, and they are chasing down these live streams.
Some guy's head just exploded on the internet.
My God, the internet. It's always the internet. Every time I go online, my head wants to explode.
This movie is not letting me get in any puns. Jesus. I have got my work cut out for me, it seems like. So, for better or for worse, it's time to fucking up the game. So, sorry in advance, some might be shit. That's all I'm saying.
Now, this is supposed to be a live feed.
Being run by someone who's calling himself the Warden.
Exactly.
Now, this is not a jump scare by any means, but I really do feel the need to have to warn you for what you're about to see here. But Michael Madsen is in the movie. You know him, right? Michael Madsen. Good guy. Pretty good actor. Well, let's just say he looks worse than ever.
Some game or something.
Jesus Christ, it's terrifying. And just remember, this is him right at the start of the movie, like his opening moment right now. There's no context to why he looks this way, and it's not even like it's the end credits and you've already seen him fight the bad guys and he looks a bit rough. This is him. I don't know who chose this. I don't quite get his character either. Like, he's the big man, but he takes nothing seriously.
We've got sickos out there liking this shit.
Oh, you would understand that, wouldn't you, Connor? That's what you do all day.
However, as you know, we like to break some records here and call them out, and this one, well, are you ready for the best banana toss in cinematic history?
That's what I'm paid to do.
Tanner, in my office,
Okay.
now.
Gonna finish that banana?
Here. Gone.
Now that was some serious potassium there, wasn't it? Potassium. Fucking Hoffman. Look what he's doing to me. Oh, the high point is a fucking banana being tossed. Jesus. Madsen is just so not up for the job here.
Kevin, I think the whole thing is a hoax.
Yeah, I don't know. The site's encrypted, which means it's going to be really hard to trace.
Who fucking wrote this? I know I could find out, but you know that way that even if I got the answer, I would still ask the question, like, who wrote this? Why? What? I don't know.
I'm just getting too old for this shit. I honestly, what am I doing
It's
here?
connected to the missing person case you guys have been working on. Phillips and Mitchell got a positive ID from the site. We got to do
So
something.
you're saying that she's involved, like, voluntarily. She wants to be part of it.
Okay, this is going to be hard.
Now, I do have days where I just cannot be arsed. I'm sure you do as well. But come on to fuck, man. Like, you're the one stopping killers. Do your job, please. The city needs you. Somebody needs you. I'm sure somebody needs you. Like, you look good at your job.
So why don't you go out there and get it done?
With one day to stop all this, they have a hearty chuckle to themselves and on we go.
The warden. Let's go get the warden. Okay. All right, Cap.
All right, get out there. Come on, let's get this guy.
Our girls get to chatting, and it's kind of the usual that you would expect at this point in the movie.
Selena? Is that you? Who's there? It's Rachel. Come over to the vent, the one across from you.
You know, how did we get here? Who's doing it? The big questions with no answers.
What the hell is going on, huh? I'm just an English teacher.
Jesus Christ, Warden, you couldn't even give her a fresh toilet roll? It's just rude, if anything. The snooze button goes off again and they all need to jump to their marks, because apparently the snooze button is time for action.
Game is about to begin. Please place yourself directly before your monitor.
Big number 7 is now having absolutely none of it here, but uh-oh. Now look, I'm not a doctor by any means, but somehow her arm stays trapped here when surely that should just be clean off at this point, right? Like, she should have fucking nothing there. He does take it up a kinky notch though, because he starts choking her now. And this arm tear, like, I know how fake it is, but it's still a bit gross. I'm not gonna lie, like, it still kind of grossed me out. Can we just take a wee second though to talk about the obvious circle cutout that wasn't there a minute ago and it's now cut out for the actor's arm to go through? Can we just talk about that? I don't really have anything more to add other than look at it, like it's there, like it's just funny, isn't it? This goes on for a bit until she is eventually just stretched to death. And then, very weirdly though, just pings back to her bed like a bungee cord. I don't understand physics enough to prove this scene wrong, but it doesn't feel right to me. Do you know what I mean? Something about it is off. Hoffman, on the other hand, though, it's kind of rare you feel sympathy for the bad guy, but he's watching all his hard work ending far sooner than expected. He seems a bit sad by it.
And with that, we bid fair adieu to unlucky number 7. At this rate, this game may become very short.
Back onto the police now though, and fucking thankfully shit is starting to get taken seriously. Like, it is about time.
He killed another one.
I think so. That looked real to me. That looked fucking real. Wow.
You better get this guy.
If you think the acting up until now has been a little bit shaky, don't you worry, I've got you covered. Here comes the Oscar moment of the movie.
Yeah. You can't just come in here.
Hey, I don't care who your uncle is. I don't care if he's the president of the United States.
You don't get it!
You can't just force...
I just watched my uncle die online.
All right.
Hey, Malone, I
Someone
got it.
blew his fucking
Hold on,
head off.
I got it. All right. Give me a second here. I got it.
I do kind of feel bad though, because this poor lonely nephew just has absolutely no idea what's actually going on.
Jose Mendez went missing last night. Dog just had too much to drink. And I see him on this website.
What the hell is he doing on the website?
Like, he knows the most, but also is the furthest from the truth. Do you know what I mean?
You really think it wasn't real, right?
I hope not.
Just CGI or some trick.
It's a joke. It's something stupid. We'll find out. I promise you that.
Madsen didn't hint at this at all, by the way, whatsoever. He just tells the boy to give a statement and they're going to try and find his uncle. And the boy immediately is like, oh, so it's all fake then and you're going to find him and there's nothing to worry about at all. Like, he didn't fucking say anything like that. Your uncle's dead. Now, if you thought the acting there was good, let me just balance that out with the movie's writing here when we get into the tech jargon of it all.
That I might be able to find this guy if we can find one of the stronger signals.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Now, I only just noticed this, by the way, but I do have to ask, why is Madsen so wet? Like, he is soaking all over right now, and nobody's questioning it. Like, is he okay? He is the roughest part of this movie so far to watch.
Brother,
Back on over to game time now though, and it has gone public to vote for who is next up for the game.
Number 3, go to your trunk and pick the object of your choice.
Our main gal is to find a weapon and get in line now.
Excellent choice.
Now, the way the movie's going, and also I am mindful of the budget of it, what do you think her next task is going to be?
Now, place it beneath your right thumbnail.
Nah, fuck this. I'm out. Nope. If yous have been around this channel for a while and seen previous videos, you're going to know that sort of shit, I don't like it. I don't like it. They show it as well, by the way. Like, I'll cover it up for your guys' benefit, but let me just be honest. They don't cover it up in the movie. They show it. It's gross. It's low budget, but still fucking gross. I hate it. Whilst this is all going on, by the way, see the Warden? He just looks fucking bored. Like, have them be angry, sad, happy, anything. Except bored. He's just fucking done with the games already. She keeps pressing on and rips it off, but with like zero of the pain.
So what? A broken nail.
She is a fucking trooper. Or a bad actor. But, you know, for the benefit of the movie, let's just say she is a badass. Number 2 now starts kicking off in the most chill way possible.
Football is a game. Baseball is a game. This is a shit show. Where's the sportsmanship?
Now, I can't disagree with you, number 2, but put your heart into it at least.
This is violence for the sake of violence.
We get some news posts now from around the world, and absolutely nothing stood out to me.
Films like Saw and Hostel have now led the way to a website capitalizing on this brand of quote-unquote entertainment.
This is a real question. How fucking sad do you think Hoffman was taking this role? Saw is even mentioned in this universe that he is now in. It's fucking with me on like a meta level because there's Saw, and Saw's a real movie that he starred in, and then Saw exists in this world. So if Saw exists in this world, then that means Hoffman as a character exists in the world. But then he's also here doing this, so is he... Imagine he was like the Hoffman of the movies, reliving it out in real world. Trust me, it's not that interesting. It's just... It's fucking weird. That's all I'm saying. Some more chatting goes on, and now they're just letting all their feelings out.
3 people are already dead. How much worse can it get?
Well, if Mr. Curtis were still with us, he'd probably say 3 times 2 times worse.
I guess you could say that they're venting. Fucking beat that, Hoffman. Beat that. Ugh. Need to get that now, it's rolled away. Okay, I'm back. They are wondering now why their school was targeted, and the big man is just hitting out with some theories.
Did we flunk some psychopath recently?
This isn't the work of a disgruntled student.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but recently seems like a bit of an odd word here, because they're teachers. At most, the ex-student who's doing all this is what, like 19, 20? Don't know what it's like in America. Is obviously an adult. Now, the big man is wanting them chips out of his head, which is totally fair, but he just passes it off to our main gal Rachel like an absolute dick.
We better get these things out of the back of our necks before we wind up like Jose or Curtis.
Okay. What do you have in mind?
I don't know, Rachel. You're the science teacher. Don't you know about anatomy?
Hoffman, though, has left the mics on. Not sure if it was by mistake or not, and now we can all start chatting freely.
He's got the mics on. We can hear each other. Look, the warden wants us to follow his every command.
I get that they're all teachers, by the way, but it is weird hearing them also using each other's surnames only.
You hear me, Miss Phillips?
I guess so.
We gotta stay calm.
Like, I've known teachers, and when they talk about other teachers, they're on a first name basis because it's colleagues and friends. They just call them by their names. Our main man, Hoffman, hops back onto the screens to set up the next games.
You will have 1 minute to choose what task you will perform for the camera. In order to be most liked by our audience, you may choose any item at your disposal.
Or sessions? Or subathons? Killathons? I don't quite know what to call them. It's I don't know what it is. It's the next 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 moment. We can settle on that at least.
The individual with the least likes at deadline will be, of course, eliminated.
This is horseshit!
Right, so it's a popularity game yet again. The least likes gets killed off. I'm glad YouTube doesn't impose those rules, because, you know, just in case. Click those cyber likes, that's all I'm saying. We have this old guy now trying to reason and putting his foot down, which it is weird, right?
I work, I go home.
What? No baseball bats.
Just do my job, and I'm really good at it.
It would be fair enough if we hadn't seen anyone die yet and like we didn't know if it was real, we didn't know the premise yet, but we've seen people die. Why is he picking now to stand his ground?
I'm not gonna put up with this insanity any longer. I'm warning you.
Him aside, they all have their tools, but Gub, what is it they have to do now, you ask?
You will now each perform a non-suicidal self-injury with the instrument you have chosen for our audience. You have 10 seconds to complete this task, or you will be eliminated.
Number 5 goes straight for the forearm, of course. Number 4 then goes for the hand. Surely that's lowering the bar just a little bit.
Fuck you.
Next up is number 2, who just seems a little bit unsure what to do exactly.
5, 4, 3, 2.
But uh-oh, Hoffman pisses on him, it looks like. I don't know. It is a very weird countermeasure. Almost as if they had the idea but not the budget to make it actually make sense. Just saying.
Let this be a lesson. You will not be warned again.
Our main gal's time is ticking down though, and with that building pressure, she just goes for the old Jesus.
3, 2.
And as for old man Rickers here, well, just like anyone giving you fabulous service on a night out, he takes the tip.
And now the voting begins. Our audience will choose.
Fucking hell, like it is so obviously fake, but fuck, I don't like it. I don't like it, it's weird. So with all that, surely the big chap is out, right? Well, guess again.
I guess people like surprises.
Poor girl, you'd think there would be some kind of consequence for not playing along. I don't know, like half the likes or something. But nah, the people have voted. She is starting to get gassed out now, and some quick thinking on her part makes her think she has to block the vents, and you can only guess what that means. Money shot, baby! Damn, I'm not gonna lie, she wore some nice underwear for this.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Fuck off, Hoffman. Stop stepping on my toes, man. This is what I do. This is my channel. It was great seeing you in the latest 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃 movie. You dick. No idea what gas it was, but she is going through some like 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗍 transformation right now. Yeah, sadly, her and her lovely new underwear are toast. The movie was starting to look good there. Like, you know, you could have kept that in just a little bit longer. That would have been a good movie, that's all I'm saying. Back on over to the police now, and this in-car camera shot genuinely looks worse than 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗍 somehow.
What? Killed another one. Okay, now listen. I don't want to waste a bunch of gas driving around.
Like, they've done it. They've fucking nailed it, guys. You have managed to lower the bar of 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗍. Well done. Be proud. To be fair, I'd rather the cell than that. Corden is his own fucking torture, am I right? Like, it's just saying. Not really much happens here either. Madsen is just continuing to be a bit of an arse.
How do you do that stuff?
You don't want to know.
I want to get that cocksucker.
We'll get him.
Yeah, 𝗃𝗂𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃 69. The remake. Starring the Warden.
And all the police really learn here is that it's the teachers in the live stream.
Someone also thinks they saw Coach Roberts on the site. He also teaches at Wood.
So I guess the shit just got real.
It's weird because they seem like they're very slow, like they don't know too much that's going on, yet they are barreling towards like what's going on at the same time. It's a weird contrast. Like their personalities and their investigation do not match the information they have at this point.
Without a gas mask, there's no scientific way to survive mustard gas poisoning.
That's what that was?
Oh shit, it was mustard gas. I genuinely did not think we were going to get any sort of grounded answer in this movie. I expected them just to be like, it's gas, fuck it, you work it out. Is it bad? I don't know. A lot of these low budget movies just make it look scary and then don't even answer it. That being said, I'm guessing it was some hot mustard. Am I right? Yeah, I did not know there was that many types of mustard. I had to look that one up. I guess every day is a school day when you're dealing with teachers. Our gal, though, is picking up on a post-stream song that is playing just every time.
Have you noticed the music that's been playing after each one of us dies?
How could you not? It's annoying as hell.
It's an old nursery rhyme called 10 Little Indians.
That's just a coincidence.
A coincidence to fucking what, mate? When you watch movies at this level, it is honestly hard to tell if something is just bad writing or if it is planting the seed for something to come up. I don't know either way at this point. I mean, can you blame me though for not being sure?
The warden. Let's go get the warden.
Our big lad puts Rachel on hold as he's got a call coming through on the other vent.
Hold on a second. Somebody's on the other side.
Listen, I have a plan.
Great. What is it?
So our big man has a plan, and to really draw us in as an audience, he just keeps it so fucking vague.
The time is right. Just be ready.
Don't you worry, we're not here for too long. Hoffman is back on the screens, and I genuinely fucking love that number one gets a wake-up call.
Welcome back to the next round of our little game. Number 1, 10 seconds to comply or be eliminated.
Like, this is death cell scenario. They are getting murdered. They are having to hurt themselves, torture themselves. Number one is catching up on some Zeds. Do you know what I mean? This is his downtime. Our big lad who just got acid in the face is now just peeling away hard. It kind of looks like the plastic bag that you get your Chinese in when you can't undo the knot and you're just ripping it open. Like, he just looks like that. Now shaking things up, the audience now get to vote on what tool is getting used next.
You will now perform a non-suicidal self-injury with an instrument from your locker. You are each provided with a duplicate item. However, the audience will vote on the item and how you use it.
So let's have a wee check and see what we've got here. So we have a knife, a box cutter, so 2 knives, that's effectively just 2 knives, fair enough. A hammer, a drill, a blowtorch, Jesus fucking Christ. We have a whip, okay, real talk. Where do we vote for that, please, guys? Let us know, please. Like, whip all the way. We're voting for that now. Like, please be relevant. We have scissors, pliers, a saw, because of course, nudge nudge wink wink, and a billy club. So with all that, what's it going to be, guys?
Audience has chosen item 8, the pliers.
What? No one went for the self whips. These fucking people are shite. They are voting terribly. Now, just for you guys and kind of myself and my curiosity, I did count this up to see how many people were voting, and it comes in at like just under 23,000. Say what you will, but Hoffman here, he's doing numbers. It turns out that whilst they voted for pliers, they also voted on what to do with the pliers. And let's just say it is 230 here, because we are losing some teeth.
The overwhelming majority voted for extraction of a tooth of your choosing. Failure to comply will lead, yes, to your elimination.
I don't understand how that works. Like, if you vote for the tool, do you maybe just immediately get a few options on how to use the tool? The pliers, I get, there's a few options there. But what can you really do with a blowtorch? Is it just burn various parts of you? A whip? Not too much to it.
Come in here. Right now, little bitch.
20, 19, 18, 17.
Was that the man's plan? Fucking hell, I hope he's got more up his sleeve than that. So with all that, number 2 is up first, and it looks like me and number 4, we're on the same page finally.
You have 10 seconds to comply.
You got it rigged.
This is your plan? Fucking meathead?
6.
You and me. Bring it now.
The big man just simply does not comply, and because of that, Hoffman lets us know that the audience have voted to give everybody else a free pass.
That's what I thought.
The audience has voted to award each captive a free pass to be used as they see fit.
Audience, my ass.
Where was the vote, right? Hoffman just keeps fucking telling us that they voted for something and we're just meant to believe it. I can fully get behind them voting for which implement to use. That makes sense. But then, you know, how to use the implement, voting for the free pass. I think Hoffman is just making this shit up at this point.
Audience, my ass.
In either case, we move, and what he does next is he pulls back the smile sign, and out comes a syringe. Now, I am going to ask this now for you all. We've seen the sign come back, a syringe just came out. What do you think happens next? Like, what do you think the next thing that Hoffman is going to ask of him is? What do you think he's going to do with syringe? In true death count fashion, do place your votes below, and let's see how many of you get it right.
The fuck is that?
That's something you should be well acquainted with in your profession.
It's so bad. How the fuck does it aim and shoot like that? Like, what is going on with this? I don't get it. Oh, it's so dumb.
So dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
So whilst these steroids are just getting, like, very slowly injected into him, number 2 doesn't do anything about it.
Traded injection of horse steroids and some other little goodies. It should really get your blood pumping.
He just stands there, he takes it like a champion. Fair play, number 2. I wouldn't mess with you myself, especially after the steroids. But, like, there's no effort on his part to remove it. He's just...
I got a bad heart.
Like, you have to help yourself, number 2. That's all we ask.
Very, very bad.
A full syringe later, though, and he is starting to hulk the fuck out. Oh, fuck me, never mind. He is just clawing at that bag for the prawn crackers. And that, my friends, is a callback. It might be some low-budget effects after all, but I can still feel it in my toes. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is now cutting off chunks. You could almost say that it is just like another trap that a certain Mr. Hoffman was a part of. There's a comparison there, isn't there? It's like that trap, only it's here, and with less money. Like, it's the same thing, isn't it? With him down, we just move right on along to sleepy number 1's turn.
Look! I did it, see? See?
It is weird how silently he's doing it, right? Like, that stands out to me. Like, this entire moment was very obviously for number 2's shock value, which I can totally get behind, by the way. It fucked me up. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Got a bad heart.
But then this poor old man does it, and nobody says a fucking thing. Like, he's hardly even acknowledged, and we just move on to Rachel.
Why are you doing this? I don't deserve to be treated this way.
Now, after a lot of blood, shed and tears, we finally get some clues as to what's going on as the pieces are kind of falling into place.
Charlotte.
Rachel, come here. Come take one with me.
All I can say at this point is, she seems important. We don't learn anything else. Now, with that little tease out the way, we cut back on over to the police, who genuinely seem quite gutted about the killings.
Fuck. They just killed Coach Roberts online.
Okay, listen, we need some answers. We need them right now. How do we find this fucker?
They get a trace on Hoffman, and Madsen just starts getting real philosophical on us.
You know what, God, I miss the old days before all this computer shit and brings people together. My ass. All it does is inspire everybody to destroy ourselves quicker.
Like, who knew this Just for Men fucking wet boy had so much to say? Do you know what I mean? Like, who fucking designed him? Who said this was okay?
Friendship needs to be earned and not just retweeted. That's not where friendship comes from. It's not something that comes out of social media. It's something that comes from a different place, a different time.
Yeah, you're right.
Well said, sir. Well said. That, right there, get that on a fucking t-shirt. Now, philosophical moment aside, Rachel is just crying at the TV as this girl keeps playing.
Why? Why are you showing me your photo?
Coach here though, well, yeah, let's just say he is definitely that person that we all know that will message you like 9 times when you don't reply.
Who are you talking to? What's going on? Can you hear me?
They have a downbeat finally, and Rachel here is just sharing the fact now that Charlotte was on the TV.
Charlotte Knight?
Charlotte Knight is dead. Who in the heck is Charlotte Knight?
She was a teacher at our high school.
So Charlotte, we learn, used to be a teacher in the theatre department in the same school, but sadly is pretty long dead at this point.
I thought we defunded that program.
Yes, Mr. Turner, we did. Based on your forced budget cuts.
Wait a minute. It was your decision on which after-school programs we were going to lose or cut.
So her program got cut, and that led to like all of this fucking I hope to God that there's something else that goes from her losing her job to mass murder the rest of your colleagues. Let's find out, shall we?
The play she wanted to do was too violent for high school kids.
I hope the irony of that decision isn't lost on you now.
Like, they don't expand on that, by the way. Like, maybe she did deserve to lose her job. Like, if she's giving the kids a play and giving them, like, real swords and shit, that makes sense. Fire her ass. This goes on for quite a while, and it's just so fucking dramatic.
Doesn't matter anyway. We're all gonna die.
Hoffman kicks off the alarms yet again, but gives us an accidental yet 100% deliberate slip of the tongue.
And we're back. The 3 remaining Indians, I mean players, stand before your monitors and await further instructions. I take it by now you have all come to understand at some level why you are here. Your Confederates have been dealt with, and you must all pay for your sins.
I don't really know much about the Confederates, just being here in Scotland and all that, but that is so not subtle, even I'm picking up on it. So I can only imagine my American friends out there, trust me, I see yous watch, that must have stood out to you as like a sore fucking thumb. I do wonder if we're going to get any real answers soon. Like, do you know what would be great right now? Is if somebody just happened to have an exposition dump for us.
10 Little Indians was a novel, and then a play later written by Agatha Christie. It's about 10 people who are invited by an unknown host to an isolated location where they are accused of crimes and then murdered one by one. Charlotte was planning on putting on that play at the high school before it was deemed inappropriate by Principal Bruno, who in turn sent out a letter that all the members of the faculty signed, thus resulting in the cancellation of her show and the entire theater department dismantled. Charlotte died soon after these events.
So after all this, it turns out that the coronary report stated that she deleted her own save file, shall we say. Pretty fucking extreme reaction, isn't it? Like, you've lost your job. Fuck, she really loved theatre. Like, god damn, that was in her veins. Maybe there's a little bit more to this, and maybe there's somebody in the walls as well, it seems.
The coroner report said it was suicide.
The coroner report was wrong.
Who said that? Who is that?
We are back to the usual again. You know the score now. The audience get voting for the tool they want to see.
Refusal to do so will result in your immediate elimination. The voting will begin now.
Oh, it's less options this time as well now. Fucking come on, Whip. Come on.
Our audience has chosen instrument number 1. The drill.
They are just the worst audience to watch your stream. Like, you guys, pretty sound. I have faith that you would pick the good stuff. This audience, on the other hand, though, they're pretty piss poor. Let's not lie about that. They're fucking dreadful. Number 1 actually calls out the game, and for once, I'm in agreement with him.
Wait,
17,
this isn't fair.
16,
I was the only one who participated in the last
13,
round.
12.
Remember the pliers?
10.
The tooth? Don't I get bonus points for this?
Poor lad took a tooth out and nobody gave a shit. I'd be pretty pissed at that as well.
I did it!
Well, as well as being locked in a murder cell with not Hoffman being the one calling the shots. Like, there's a lot of things on my mind at the moment, but taking a tooth, that would be front runner for pissing me off. So it is the same old shtick again. They all have to make a non-self-delete injury. But this time, there is a twist.
Before we begin, each of you will be given an opportunity to defend yourselves and your actions with regard to the death of Charlotte Knight. Should our audience believe your defense, you will be rewarded with a pass and will not be required to participate in this round.
So in a nutshell, if their defence is up to audience standards, they will be given a pass on this one. So far though, we know that their voting is horrible, so I can't imagine what their standards are. But in either case, it looks like one way or the other, the guys here now are really going to have to drill down deep. So although they have to defend their actions, number 1 on the other hand, yeah, he is still just fucking going off on one about his tooth. But thankfully, Hoffman is finally clapping back.
Moron!
Disrupt the game once more and you will be eliminated, number 1. And by the way, I'm quite aware that the tooth you pulled was a prosthesis. You lost that tooth years ago.
So number 1 has some tricks up his sleeve, it seems. To his credit, he doubles down hard.
It was a fake.
So, you told us we could use any tooth of our choosing. I was still playing by your rules.
Enough!
I mean, you cannot argue with that. Like, it seems like right now, he actually has the edge in this. How do you think Hoffman's going to respond?
Enough!
This isn't water.
Correct. It's kerosene. Interrupt me again and you will be playing this round with item number 2. The propane torch.
What a fucking sore loser he is, man. Like, you couldn't be Jigsaw, and now you're just losing to an old, toothless man. Like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. I really don't mean to nitpick here. Well, I kind of do, it's kind of a part of the channel. However, the blowtorch, that was number 5, and the saw, that was number 2. But, you know, you carry on, Hoffman. You do you. It's not like you to not know what a fucking saw is, am I right? Why is he in this? What the fuck is he doing?
Actually, due to these outbursts, one shall be punished. He has lost the opportunity to defend himself in regards to the death of Charlotte Knight and must now proceed with the self-injury.
Holy shit, he really is a bad loser. And he just decides to punish him anyway. So number 1 instead is now given 5 seconds to hurt himself. And what do you think he does?
Screw you! You motherfucker! I'm gonna get you, you bastard!
Not gonna lie, I don't think that's how televisions work, number 1. I'm sorry. Maybe it's the older generation. They don't quite have this stuff figured out yet. Who knows? Sadly though, he hits a spark and just goes up fast. I will give the movie some credit though, even though the budget has been looking questionable so far.
Just CGI or some trick.
It's a joke. It's something stupid.
The movie does sound better than that birthday scene from Resident Evil 7. Like, do you remember that? Well, there it is. Like a pea in the woods at Christmas time, we just cut over to a steamy number 1. And Hoffman cuts to an ad break, I think.
We will resume momentarily.
If this motherfucker's getting sponsorships, I'll be fucking livid. Well, the last prick's getting 5 million views and now this. Back on over to the cops now, and they are on Hoffman's stream. I do wonder if they've subscribed. But it turns out the fire was actually a good thing, because now they can actually look for the smoke coming out of the building.
Why the hell is that good? Because there's a fire, there's smoke. Tell them to light up all the abandoned buildings in this whole area. Over?
Okay, what's it searching for?
Look for thick black smoke.
Now, I am no fire expert by any means, which probably is a given. However, I would suspect, looking at the way he burned out in this room and the kind of lack of smoke even in the room, it is probably not going to escape the room, escape the building, and have some sort of big funnel of smoke into the sky. Right? Like, is that just me thinking that? Like, it seems like a long shot.
Look for thick black smoke.
The remaining 2 have a very standard back and forth with each other now.
She lived for the theater, and you knew it.
Do I need to remind you that you signed that piece of paper like everyone else?
Rachel is still adamant that she did not want to sign the whole cut the theatre arts programme thing, until the big lad just starts throwing more shit her way.
I guess I forced you to fuck Simon too, didn't I?
I didn't know. I told you I never met her husband. He never told me he was married. He wasn't even wearing a ring.
Oh, Rachel, you dirty dog, sleeping with Charlotte's husband and all that. I genuinely thought at this level of film it was just going to be the theatre was cut. Like, I don't know if I should be surprised by this extra bit. Now, to be fair to her, she didn't know that he was married when they did the deed. So it's not really her fault, but still. Tut tut, Rachel. Naughty minx.
You told her!
She figured it out for herself.
And she killed herself. Her job, her passion, her marriage, all on the same day.
So there we have it, everyone. The last little piece of the puzzle that we kind of needed for this to make a little bit more sense. Charlotte lost both her job and her husband, led to her deleting her own save. We'll get a little bit more explanation soon, don't you worry. Just fucking strap in though.
We shall skip ahead to the final lightning rounds of the game.
The ad break must be over because Hoffman is now back on our screens and he is now just jumping right into the end game early because, like somebody with a weak bladder, number 1 went out early.
Our audience has silently voted that if you use your head, the winner will be unleashed. However, only one of you will be allowed this opportunity.
I guess this really is a head-to-head then. I did set out to wreck Hoffman at puns. I feel like I've got the upper hand now. I do. I feel like I managed to tip the scales. So now is like a self-paying free-for-all, basically, where, you know, up until now, the audience have voted for tools and ways to do it. Nah, they get to just fucking improv their own style now.
You will have 2 minutes to consider your strategy and items of use.
Now with the possibilities literally endless, well, based on the tools they've got, this is going to get pretty fucking wild, isn't it? Number 4 here, though. Yeah, he is still very much of the mindset that he is just not at fault.
Charlotte had her choice. She chose to die. This is just some sick vendetta.
Hear me out for just 1 second. I'm not taking Charlotte's self-delete lightly. However, the school cut the theatre programme, which, sure, she lost her job, it's a bit shite, but it's not personal. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've just had to make some cuts and that unfortunately went. Her husband then cheated with Rachel, which, yes, absolute dick move on his part. Rachel didn't know that was going to happen, and then also everyone else has been roped into this situation. Was it shite what happened to Charlotte? Well, just like Lemony Snicket, it was very much a series of unfortunate events. However, again, that being said, it is not really anyone here's fault, right? Like, I don't want to sound like a dick with that. Kind of a bit much, isn't it? Anyway, he just says the word vendetta, and it seems like Rachel starts to remember something.
This is just some sick vendetta.
Vendetta. Oh my god. I think I know who's behind this.
Like any tense finale in a movie, she does not share her plan with number 4 and instead just dives right the fuck into it.
I think it's only fair that we share with everyone watching who the warden really is.
Do tell.
Come on, Simon. I know you're behind this. Show yourself. Oh my god, Simon.
Sorry, number 3.
Oh, fuck, she was wrong. And then Hoffman gives us some weird hybrid between like Donald Trump and magician jazz hands, it looks like. I honestly don't know the choice there. Thankfully, we move on from that, and here we go. It is round 1 time, baby. It is getting serious. Well, more serious than all the murder so far. It's ramping up. Number 4 here is going for that hammer, and he just, yeah, he does not make a fucking peep.
5, 4, 2.
Now, Rachel, on the other hand, yeah, it's pretty fucked. She's going for the forehead. Now, I would feel bad for Rachel in any other circumstance until you realise there's literally no cut. And that, by the way, is not her trying to pull a fast one over Hoffman. No, that is literally just the makeup department. The boys in blue here get an update, thankfully, and somehow, though, that smoke from earlier that really didn't exist, yeah, that's still going.
There's signs of smoke generating from warehouse 7.
Back on over to the scores now, and it turns out number 4 is in the lead, which, to be fair, does make sense. Rachel really did fuck all. She gets one more guess at who is behind this whole thing, and who do you think it's going to be?
It can't be Charlotte. I was at her funeral. She's fucking dead.
I was there too. This can't be 10 Little Indians for real.
Yes, Rachel, my daughter is dead. You took her away from me. You all did by your actions.
Fuck off, movie. Fucking number 4 is screaming at the TV just like I was watching this movie.
Who the fuck is this guy? Uncle Joe?
Fucking hell, Hoffman. You finally get your own movie, you're your own Jigsaw person, and you're not even the big bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, he himself has a boss.
I am the warden. I see to it that justice is served. I right the wrongs in society. Consider me a dark avenger for our dark times. When I heard what happened to Charlotte, I happily took Mrs. Pine's case, free of charge.
First you're Jigsaw's bitch, and now you're like this lady's Craigslist hire. What is next for Hoffman? Like, I can just see him now on the street corner, taking hit jobs for cash. We just move on to the next round, and number 4, he's refusing now.
I'm done with this bullshit game.
Number 4. Are you stating that you will no longer participate?
He seems to be bowing out of this round since, again, he's using the rules set out by Hoffman against Hoffman.
It's my understanding of the rules that you stated that the one with the most likes at the end of the final round will be afforded the opportunity to be released. I'm saying it's number 3, Rachel Phillips. I'm calling the shots.
He really didn't think these rules through, did he? Like, at all. He did not plan ahead. I will be honest, I don't quite get it though. So I'm all for it being down to the votes, and he actually won the votes, but now he's wanting out? Like, that doesn't make sense. I don't get it. In fairness though, it doesn't really matter, because old Mother Charlotte, she's calling the shots now.
No. Make him die slowly.
Never argue with a vengeful mother.
I know, shocking, right? You didn't see that coming. Onwards now to Rachel, who is just again painlessly taking a tooth out. One tooth down, we are moving on to round 3, the final round, baby. Oh no, it doesn't matter, Hoffman's just killing off 4 now. So we have Rachel now going solo into the final round, and he just moves the fucking goalposts on her.
Choose your item and continue with your penance. Once you have been liked 10,000 times, you will be freed.
I'm not saying he's a good guy by any means, but the fact he's not sticking to his rules makes me hate him all the more. Like, that's just bullshit. What is she going to do though? Fucking yes, it's the whip. Let's fucking go. Oh, don't cut away, please. Oh, fuck. The police are rocking up now. They are closing in fast.
Looks like we have company.
Thankfully, we don't stay with them too long. Back on to the cam girl. I mean, Rachel.
7,000 more likes, and you could be free.
Old Mother Hen here, by the way, she is fucking on one. Like, she is seeing red and she is bloodthirsty.
I want them to die. I want them to all die.
Now that's not very sporting.
I'm not leaving until it's over.
What do you guys think? Do you reckon Rachel can get 10,000 likes for whipping herself? I would have 10,000 email addresses if this was real. That's all I'm saying.
Enough! Again.
Jesus, girl, she really is onto a kink. The 5-0 now run into the Warden himself, Hoffman in the flesh, and we have a smug standoff.
Make a move, and I'll blow your goddamn brains out.
Okay, I won't. But you have to. If you want to save that final girl.
I know what you're here for, don't you, Wally? Back onto Rachel, and she is still just whipping away. It makes you wonder if Charlotte's husband used a similar whip at all. So is her plan just to keep on doing this, like whip-a-thon for the 10,000? Oh, of course not. This is a low-budget horror movie after all, and I think we all know, we're all on the same page, how she's going to get the likes in.
Is this what you want? Yeah. Is it? Yes. Fuck.
Fucking hello? Like, if that was the money shot earlier, this is cashing checks now. I think for her efforts, we should all be clicking some likes for her. In fairness though, it is fucking working for her. Like, there is just no denying that this is getting her to the 10k. We get back to the Warden standoff, and real question I'm asking you guys now, how do you think he's going to get out of this one?
Then move now, get over here. You lock your fingers behind your goddamn head before I blow it off.
As you wish.
Go that way, I'll go this way. Okay.
There really was just no describing that. Like, is he fucking Batman now? What the fuck was that, Hoffman? Back onto our main gal, and she just keeps on whipping, and very sadly, she is just like 2 likes away.
10,000 likes, remember?
Imagine being that close for all your efforts. Like, come on, people. It's like a boob each. Just like them. After having enough of whipping herself into oblivion, she Indianas the TV off the wall, and this old kinky bitch is freaking.
No! No, 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 no! 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 Die! Die!
Now folks, we actually have a second record here to break. Are you ready for the best keyboard acting in cinematic history?
You gotta die!
fuck me, woman. Like, even Freddy done better than that. And he offered up lunch. Like, fuck it. You just... I'm just going to play it one more time for you. It's so bad.
You gotta die!
This really just boils down to one question, though. What do you think happens next?
Die!
I don't know anymore. I don't know what the fuck was that. Our man Madsen catches up to the Warden and he does the old turn and run by the looks of it.
Shit.
Well, if he's there, where's the Warden? Oh, that was unexpected. Kind of. It definitely was fully expected, wasn't it? Like, we seen that fucking coming.
This game is survival. Life and death. You know the rules.
Hold up. Was that Hoffman himself saying in this movie a legally not saw line?
Okay, freeze, bitch.
Don't shoot. I'm unarmed. He was torturing me for hours.
So we've got Madsen here, whose whole priority is take down the bad guy and save the victims. Like, surely that's got to be priority number uno right there. We've got Rachel on the run. She is escaping. And when they cross paths, you've got to imagine Madsen will be pretty excited about that.
Oh, sweet Jesus, you're Rachel. One we've been looking for. Hey, it's me. Listen, I need a medic, the ambulance.
He just doesn't give a shit, does he? He doesn't. You'd think there would be some excitement that he managed to save somebody, but no, he doesn't give a fuck.
Hey, Rachel. One we've been looking for.
Madsen just dips slowly to go and take care of the Warden.
Where are you, asshole?
So, this is the button for the siren, huh?
He's in my fucking car. Take care of this asshole, all right? I'll take care of you.
And when I say slowly, I mean fucking slowly. When I say someone put in very little effort into the movie, I think the bar for me now is Madsen in this role. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is not trying. What's weirder is he leaves Rachel, who, let's not forget, is a clear victim and has went through quite a lot of injury. He's left her with a gun and this old kinky bitch. Sure, he doesn't know about the kinks just yet, but she's an unchecked woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, she could be anybody. But Gub, how did Rachel survive when she had that chip in her neck, I hear you ask?
How?
Or maybe not ask. I'll be honest, I didn't even remember the chips in the neck at this point, so if you didn't, that's fine.
You gotta die! Die!
Oh, right, okay, so that's what blew up though. Right, okay, that makes sense now. Kind of. I am being very generous saying that makes sense. Madsen heads on outside.
Where the hell are you, bastard?
And it looks like the Warden is finally getting away.
That would be telling. I say we put a pin in it.
Till the rematch.
Where the fuck are you?
I'm gonna get you, man.
Like, surely if he just calls the station from his mobile and says, look, don't ask questions, however, I lost my car, can you check it for me? They're going to know where it is, right? Now, this might seem a little bit jarring to you, but trust me, I have not left anything out. We just cut straight on over to a whole bunch of new people in overalls talking to the camera. Our well-beloved Warden is back on our screens, and real question, do you remember that fantastically iconic Saw finale moment?
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore. Game over.
Well, let's see how Hoffman wraps things up in his own standalone movie.
I am the Warden, and I have gathered you all here to participate in a little game. And like most games, the rules are simply not in your favor.
He tried. He tried. That's all I can say. And with that though, we roll into credits. So, with everything there, we need to talk about this. I know I have done, but we need to talk about this movie. Basically, they really were all in there because a school teacher lost her job and her husband cheated on her. That is actually insane for a movie plot to me. And poor Hoffman, by the way, like, I'm fully aware that he is not exactly a regular at the Oscars, shall we say. But to go from Saw to this? Poor man, like someone needs to cut him a break. I have no idea what his personal life is like, but to take on a movie like this, you can only guess he might have had a few letters in the post saying bills were past due, do you know what I mean? And to bring him down a further peg, and really I'm not trying, he doesn't even seem like he's a hitman for hire sort of character. He seems more like someone you would find on Facebook Marketplace. Like the way they've interacted and the brief conversation between the mother and him. Trust me, very brief. It seems like she found him online. It all seems weird. I do have to ask, why did the room at the very end of the movie look just like the rooms used throughout the main part of the movie? Like, based on the police chase, it really gave the impression that this was a random warehouse that he set all this up in. And before we really head off of this, let's really talk about Madsen. That is the look they went for. Somebody sat with him, done his hair, gave him an injury that isn't explained, which I do like that in characters when they have injuries that are established before you meet them. They never discuss them, so it's just part of their character. Only here, he didn't have character. His personality is just so fucking weird, right? So with that little wrap up, that is really my thoughts, impressions of Death Count. Have you watched Death Count before, or was this your first impression of it? Do let me know your thoughts and feelings on it. Are you as confused, perplexed, and I don't know, just you feel a little empty inside as a result of it as well? Because I can relate. And if you've made it this far and you haven't yet, please do consider hitting subscribe. You get to see more videos like this, more movies you've not heard of, and it really does help this video get pushed out to more people that might enjoy it. It's a win-win. And of course, before heading off, I do want to give a massive shout out to the members of the channel that are somewhere behind me there. Thank you guys so much for just supporting this. It genuinely feels absolutely incredible and surreal that I got to this point where I could have memberships, and some of you watching are wanting to support me, so thank you. And if you guys would want to as well, I've got 2 tiers. I've got one here for the high key support at £2.99 and 2 for £1 for 99p. All members will get a shout out on the channel, but if you are thinking of doing it, just be sure that you're able to. Do you know what I mean? And with everything all wrapped up, as always, thank you guys so much for watching.